What's up, guys? A little bit different video today. I polled you guys via Instagram asking you all of your fitness questions. I wanted to get, what do you guys have questions about? So we're gonna take 10 minutes and try to see how many questions we can go through. Some might be a little bit longer, some might be shorter, but these are all of your questions that you asked me. All right, first question. Thoughts on carb cycling? You know, I actually have a lot of thoughts on carb cycling. Carb cycling is great if you can do it. For me, I think carb cycling is more for some sort of professional athlete, maybe a bodybuilder, someone that's very, very serious and that can actually do this. So what carb cycling is, it's basically a strategy of rotating your carb intake based around your training days. So obviously you have high carb days, moderate carb days, and low carb days. The high carb days you would have on heavy training days or intense training days. For me, I would put this on like leg days or back day. Your moderate days would be on your normal training days, probably in upper body, chest, shoulders, bis and tris. And then your low carb days would be on like accessory day or a rest day. Now, the idea behind it is so that you're eating and fueling for performance, giving yourself more carbs on those bigger lift days or bigger training days, and then limiting your carbs on the days that you're not training so hard. So it makes a lot of sense. Now, do I do carb cycling? Is that something I've ever done? I actually haven't. Me personally, I try to keep, I think dieting's already hard enough. So figuring out like making different food and different proportions every single day, it's not gonna be for the normal person. So I don't think carb cycling is gonna work for the normal person. There's too much variance. Question is about how many sets do you need for hypertrophy? It's all gonna depend on, I see this as like beginner, intermediate, advanced. Beginners, if you're very, very new into lifting, anywhere from like 8 to 12 sets is probably a good start. Intermediate, I would be somewhere between like, 10 to 18. And then if you're advanced, you can go 18 to, 24, 25. Now, I also break it down to like muscles. So something like a smaller muscle group like the bis and tris, I am more on that like 8 to 12, 8 to 10 rep range. Plus they also get work on the compound movements, but isolated bis and tri exercises, I probably only get anywhere from 8 to 12 working sets. Bigger muscle groups like your legs and back, they need a little bit more, and I'm more of the 18 to 24 range. Best exercises for inner thighs, right in here. Anything sumo, where your feet are out wide, so sumo squats, sumo leg presses, anything wide, dumbbell squats with your legs wide. And great machine, if your gym has it, is the adduction, abduction. That's a great one. So spread them to get them. Here's a good one. I actually got this asked a couple different ways, but basically, what should my split look like during a week? I think that's all going to depend on how many days a week can you consistently go to the gym. If you can consistently dedicate 3 days to the gym, my workout split would be more of a push-pull legs. Push being chest, shoulders, triceps, pull being back, biceps, rear delts, and then legs. Now, if you can train, 4 days a week, that push-pull legs would still be good. You could have 2 leg days. Any more than that, you have bro splits. What I used to do for a very long time is a very bodybuilder bro split where I train every single day. So certain days I'm focusing on single muscle groups like shoulders today. Then we have chest and triceps, and we have back and biceps. I have multiple leg days where one leg day is quad focus, the other leg day is hamstring and glute focus. So it's all gonna depend on how many days can you dedicate to the gym, and then depending on how many days that is, Do I do a push-pull leg split? Do I do a bro split? And then also, what are your goals? Now, if your goals are, I want to grow my legs, I'm gonna add more leg days in there. So currently, that is one of my goals. I am trying to grow my legs. So I have 3 leg days. We have a chest and triceps, we have back and biceps, and I still really like having my own shoulder day because shoulders are really important. So it's gonna come down to how many days a week can you dedicate to the gym, and then what are also your goals. A good bicep peak exercise. One of my favorite exercises is you're between 2 cables and it's high concentration curls. The reason I like doing those, and it works on the peak, because as a bodybuilder, the 2 best poses are a front double bi and a back double bi. Now, how do you do a bicep pose is like this. So I'm actually working that actual pose in between the cables. So I would do high cable bicep, dual high cable bicep curls. Those are phenomenal. All right, next one's a good one because I get this all the time. So this person has never worked out before, but what's a good workout to burn stomach fat? Newsflash, you can't spot reduce. Like, I can't tell my body, hey body, I have fat right here, just lose it right here. You can't do that. In order to burn fat, you need to be consuming less calories than you are expending every single day. If you're constantly overeating every single day, those calories get stored as fat. If you continue to do that days after days after days, yes, you're just storing fat and you get fatter. So what do you have to do is you have to eat less than you are expending. So figuring that out is very important. You need your training in check, you need your cardio in check, and you need your diet, which is probably the absolute most important one. So the only way to do that is to consume less. It's a calories in, calories out. If you're constantly overeating, you're never going to lose that. And you can do as many sit-ups as you absolutely want. It's not gonna just burn the fat there. Your body burns fat throughout the whole entire body. Can't spot reduce, sorry. How do you stay motivated all these years? My favorite question. Guess what, guys? I have to train today. Am I excited for it? No. Am I motivated to do it? No. But guess what? I'm going to do it anyway, because that's what you do when you have discipline. So the biggest thing here is realizing the difference between motivation and discipline. The people that look the way you want to look, it has nothing to do with motivation. It has everything to do with discipline. When you are motivated to train, it's just the cherry on top. That makes it exciting. But 98% of the time, I'm not motivated to train. I'm a human just like you. I'm also not motivated, but I do it anyway because of discipline. So you need to create routines and habits in your day, in your lifestyle, that you do things that you really don't feel like doing, and you do them anyway, regardless of how you feel, regardless if you're motivated or not, regardless if you have energy or if you're busy, you always fit it in, and that comes down to discipline. So build a routine that the gym is a part of your life every single day, and then you'll be able to get there and realize you never needed motivation in the first place. You just needed the discipline. Great question. How often do you cut/bulk during the year? Never really did it. Never really was into the whole bulking phase. Now, even as a competitive bodybuilder, I didn't like bulking. I didn't want to gain a whole bunch of extra weight. I didn't want to gain fat because, to me, as a professional athlete, I wanted to look professional at all times. So I never really did extreme bulks where I was eating excess. There is a whole idea behind it. That's why bodybuilders do it, is so that you can build more muscle, and then you, after your bulks, you then cut down and then you see all the beautiful muscle underneath. Now, for me, I saw that as more work. I would have to do more cardio. I don't want to have to gain a whole bunch of fat in order to gain muscle and then have to cut down afterwards. So I do believe that you can add very good quality muscle, maybe not as much as a big bulk, but you can still add quality muscle, staying at a maintenance level to just slightly above a maintenance level, eating just a little bit more, not adding 500 to 1,000 calories to put on weight. I think it's just too much extra work. I call this the main gainer. So staying at a maintenance level, possibly slightly above, and just lifting heavy. You can still put on quality muscle. If you like doing those kinds of cycles where you're gaining weight and then losing weight, I've just never been into it because I like looking good all the time. Bulgarian squats or standard barbell squats? Both necessity in any leg day. How many days a week of cardio do you do? Currently, honestly, 0 right now, but I will typically, if I'm trying to lean up a little bit, I do about 3 to 4 days a week. HIIT training, 15, 20 minutes, and that's it. Best pec exercises. If I had to name one, incline bench. Incline bench is gonna give you that separation at the top. But if you're a guy, I would say decline bench because that's gonna like fill up your chest. But most people like that upper chest separation. Incline bench, by far, hands down, should be in your chest day. Would the heart be the strongest muscle of the body? Mine is, because there's so much love in it. Weight belts is in here. What's your go-to favorite lifting belt? Cardillo, obviously, throwing it in there. Shout out to Cardillo weight belts. If you ever need a weight belt, get a Cardillo one. They're the best. I get the leather powerlifting belt. I've had it for 12 years now. And it just keeps getting better. Can you build in a deficit? Technically, no. If you are in a deficit, you're not eating enough calories, so your muscles technically aren't going to get bigger, but you are going to look bigger because your muscles are gonna be more defined. So I wouldn't say you could build in a deficit. You're just losing in a deficit. You need to be at least at a maintenance level or slightly above if you're looking to build strength or build muscle. I was just going through, and there are a ton of questions about like bulking and like how long to do it, and I find it fascinating because you're asking the one person that's really never done it. I've never done a bulk because I don't really believe in it, and I think you can build quality muscle without bulking. So I think the idea is people think bulking as I can eat whatever I want. And yeah, you will feel stronger. I think some people like it because they're stronger that way. But don't get confused with bulking with being able to eat whatever I want. Because I don't think, like, there's people that do bulks and it's a very unhealthy bulk and you're adding not good quality muscle that way. Like if you're just eating whatever, you're not tracking your macros, you're not eating enough protein, and you're just eating garbage and gaining weight, that's not good quality muscle. Then you're just gonna have to strip off a bunch of fat. There are good ways to do a bulk, which is still eating very, very clean. You should be eating what you are eating in a deficit, but just higher calories, higher protein, higher carbohydrates, not just eating junk. So don't confuse bulking as, oh, I get to eat whatever I want. Now this goes for any body part. So if you want something to grow, let's say it's your shoulders or it's your legs, you want to train it more often. If you want something to grow, timing and consistency of training it is going to improve it. So if you're only like, a lot of people are like, how do I grow my shoulders? It's like, okay, well, like how many days a week do you train shoulders? Technically, I train mine twice. I have a chest day and a shoulder day. Now, if you are still lacking in that, or if you want to train legs, I have a lot of guys that say like, how do I grow my legs? It's like, and they're only training legs once a week. Oh, I train mine 3 days a week because I am trying to grow it. So if you want something to grow, you're gonna have to train it more often. Stairmaster or incline treadmill, which one do you like to do? Do that one. They're both great. What's the best training split to train each body part twice a week? Easy. Push-pull legs, push-pull legs. You can make a 6-day split. out of push-pull legs. All right, guys, that's it. A ton of great questions in there. I love this. So maybe we'll come back. We'll try to get some more questions in there. If you are watching this and you have a question that I did not answer, why don't you just put that below in the comments section and we'll take notes of that and maybe we'll touch it on the next video. Thank you guys for watching and we will see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your question below. We'll see ya.